Dinner with Tuck, but we do homeless news. If you're a business and you'd like to sponsor the homeless news, please reach out to me at friartuck@hobotuck.com. If you're an individual and you would like to contribute in some way, all that's down in the description. What we're going to be talking about today are going to be two news articles. One is going to be out of Atlanta, and the other one is going to be out of Seattle. But let's go ahead and get this started. Wait for people to get in. I'm gonna do a little bit of just like up front. We're just gonna chit chat for a while, and then we're gonna get into the news stories. If you're watching this in replay. Oops. All right, so I have a cup and a half of water, a half a cup of milk, which I use the Nido milk, and a tablespoon of butter. What we are having tonight is the Knorr brand Alfredo. So bring to a boil, stir in contact, boiling 7 minutes. Let stand for 2 minutes, stir, serve, enjoy. Okay, perfect. They make real easy instructions as well. What's up, Platypus? Nice to see you, buddy. All right, so if you guys are hearing the wind, what you're hearing is about 35-mile-an-hour winds. So for the next week or so, we're going to have anywhere between 25 to 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and anywhere from like 15 to 30-mile-an-hour constant winds. So that's what you guys are hearing. That's what this is right here. That's the overhead canopy. We kind of had to block that. What's up, Kung Fu? All right, so before I get into today's news stories, because I'm waiting for this to come to a boil, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and just kind of let you know what's going on, is that what I have been talking to a lot of people. Apparently, I misunderstood some people when they were giving me advice earlier, and now I have a further clarification. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I'm going to be doing videos here. I'm going to start out originally. I'm going to start doing like homeless awareness, education, preparing for homelessness, so on and so forth. But then on the Thursday video, I'm going to start using that to kind of showcase the homestead, showcase what it is that I'm doing around here, because I've got several projects I'm going to be working on. One, I got to work on clearing rocks so I can create a driveway. I also want to do raised beds using rocks. I also need to, what I want to do is have somebody, see if I can find somebody to, pay him $50 to come in and reposition the trailer, because there's a couple of trees that I want to be able to use for protection, so that this thing doesn't shake and isn't vulnerable to those high winds that come in. So that's what you guys are going to start seeing on Thursdays. So expect it. If you are in the early release membership, be expecting probably tomorrow night I will be putting that video up. So usually I release it, or I put it up about 24 hours before I release it. So Tuck talking fast because of the wind today. Yes, I'm talking as fast as the wind. So let's see here. All right, let's get into the news. We've had a few minutes for people to get in. Let's get into some homeless news. So let's talk about what's going on in Atlanta. Atlanta is doing. Hold on, I gotta pull it up here. Crap. Hold on, let me go get my mouse real quick. I left it up there. Hold on. Okay. So, so Atlanta City Council to vote on creation of homelessness task force after Cornelius Taylor's death. So they went in and they cleared a homeless camp. Well, while they were clearing the homeless camp, a man was, it was I guess a city truck or a city vehicle that took his life, and so they were carrying his coffin up, because there's a lot of news around this right now. They were carrying his coffin up on the day that the vote was happening, to create a homelessness task force, for the whole city of Atlanta. If you don't know what's going on in Atlanta, something to be aware of is that let's see, they have something like, not Cop Alley or something like that. Police Row is, I think, what they're calling it. There was a big hoopla about how they were centering a police force almost as if it was being set up more for militaristic defense than for actually policing the citizens. And so there was a big uproar, but they put it in anyways. It was a multi-million-dollar project, and that coupled with this homeless task force. Now, going through Atlanta, I've been through Atlanta. I will tell you that it is a very dangerous city. People are very brutal there. It is very primal as far as like the homeless community, and you better be very careful, especially if you're in downtown or anywhere around downtown. I had to have a staring contest the last time I was through there because some dude wanted to mess with me because he wanted to mess with Sam, and I was, we were having an issue. If you guys remember when I went from Virginia down to Gainesville, I told you guys about that story if you guys were watching. But okay, so we got that on a boil now. But anyways, to create a task force, what does a task force look like? What could we, what would be good, and then what would be just the standard status quo that the that the city's doing? Because our next article is going to kind of show you the opposite side of what happens when a city just says, we don't want to deal with homelessness at all. What's up, Bucknut? Nice to see you, buddy. It's called Cop City. Okay, yes, Cop City. Perfect. Okay, cool. I've been wondering if the laptop still existed, but didn't want to bring it up. Yes, it's still here. Okay, so a task force. How can the police help the homeless? You know what? That's like an open debate. I think I'll end up having to create a video on it. I did kind of create a video. The police have kind of got, not necessarily be more lenient, but they got to understand that they have the ability to impact somebody's life. For me, my experience was that I was knocking doors trying to get work. Some lady got scared, called the cops. Cop shows up, says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I tell him what I'm doing. He says, "Man, I wish more homeless would be like you." And got in his car and left. Didn't check my ID, didn't get all suspicious. He was just happy to see a homeless person going out looking for work instead of standing on a street corner begging for change. How did that impact me? That impacted me greatly because I saw, okay, if I don't want to get messed with, if I don't want to have to deal with the whole police thing, because you're only homeless for a small amount of time. Homelessness is temporary. It's not permanent. For some people, it's permanent, but for most people, it's temporary. And with it being, if it's temporary, you still got to have your life in order as far as like your criminal activity. You still got to have all of that stuff in order. And so, doing things that are going to bring less police attention is going to be beneficial for you. These police officers need to understand that with the things that they're doing, if instead of writing somebody a ticket and doing all these other things because, oh, I think I'm doing the right thing, they need to understand the human element behind it, and then not only the ramifications. A police officer has the authority just by his badge to completely destroy your life, whether you're right or wrong. Police officers have way more power over your ability to find work, to be able to find housing, to be able to get into a decent community. Because when they write you that ticket and you go off, now all of a sudden that puts a blemish on your record and closes off so many different doors for you. And then after a while, you're just like, screw it, why should I try? And so instead of actually helping the homeless by, oh yeah, we'll send them to drug court, force them into rehab so that they can come back out here and we can arrest them for drugs again. No, find out the human element. Be a mentor. You're not their friend. Okay, because, it's just like your parents. Your parents are not your friends. They're there to talk to you, to kind of nudge you in the right direction, but you don't always need an ass whooping. And that's really kind of the way that the police is like every time you step out of line just the slightest bit, here comes the belt, and the proverbial belt. So there has to be some I don't know, there has to be some give and take if they're going to actually create a task force that's going to help the homeless. Okay, I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think the police should be doing that would be beneficial to the homeless individuals that they're dealing with? and still allow them to protect the community, keep crime down, and actually make a positive impact in the homeless person's life. If you're watching this in replay, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. But you guys here in chat, what do you think? What do you think the what would be a good way for the police to make a positive impact? Does it always require taking someone to jail, giving them a ticket, or do you think that there should be some form of humanity or even leniency? Let the situation dictate it instead of so when I was in Oregon, I got to talk to a judge, and they have these mandatory minimum sentences. Most of these judges hate mandatory minimum sentences because when somebody comes in and they're like, well, they really don't deserve that level of punishment, but because it's a mandatory minimum, instead of giving them 2 years, they have to give them 5 years. And so mandatory minimum punishment isn't working either, and all it's doing is just being more destructive. So give people free housing. How does free housing solve the issue? Because homelessness, and if you watch my other channel, homelessness is not a housing issue. Homelessness is an issue up here. It's learned behaviors, learned habits that have slowly eroded your network, your social safety net, to the point where you'll know you have nobody. And then not only that, just the self-guilt that most people carry around. To some people, that self-guilt is going to lead them into drugs and alcohol and other things, because it's like, just like Christianity teaches, you're no longer the original sin. You are responsible for Adam's transgression, so therefore you can do no right, and as long as you believe in this guy, everything's great. Well, what does that do not only to the morals of society, but what does it do to the person and how they see themselves? Well, if I can never do wrong, I hate myself because God hates me, but he's being kind enough to let me into heaven because I believe in this. Okay? And so this is what modern religion has commercialized into. Okay, and so what does that what kind of things does that lead to? Okay, there's a lot of things that influence us to be that way, but we have enough negative influences that put us on the streets. What we need is positive influences, people that are working with us to push us in a positive direction. Are we seeing effort? Are we seeing slight changes? Because some people change real slowly, some people do a 180 right there. Okay, so I wonder if human beings are no longer viable at all, regardless of who, what, where. Okay. I don't know about that, Dark Souls. They could just stop starting shit. Would be a good start. That's one way to say it. Yeah, they could just stop starting stuff. Okay. Okay. Cops should show up with social workers. I think the social worker is the social workers, they're not as helpful as, I don't know, my personal experience. Social workers are not very helpful. They're by the book, they're just following it, it's just their job. They have to turn off their feelings because some people they can't help and it's going to destroy them and they need to go home and sleep at night. No, the police officer, it is part of their duty to be able to deal with the scum of society. But it would be very positive, not only for the police officer to see what good and what positive impact he's making in the community, because a lot of police officers, they get jaded by the job, and so therefore that's why you see a lot of the stupid stuff that these police officers do. It's because after a while everybody becomes a criminal. Okay, and so therefore I've had, even when I had my cleaning business, I did work for a couple of cops, and as soon as they pulled out the Carter, they'd put me in a corner and be like, I'm a retired cop, right? And it's like, and I'm here to clean your house. I'm not here to worry about whether or not you're a retired cop, but I usually would drop that client right there because I'm like, I ain't playing this game. I'll let somebody else deal with it, because it's just, all it was bullying and intimidation. But that's because all they see is the scum of society. They don't get to see the positive. So giving them an opportunity to create positive, I think, will bring good police officers back to the police force. Because the reason why people want to become police officers, because they want to do good, they want to protect their community. And when you're causing more harm than good, who wants to be a police officer? So message. Okay, you need to. Okay. We need to start treating addiction the way it should be treated. It's not a disorder, it's a disease, it's a choice. yes, I agree with you. On one hand, yes, it is a choice, but sometimes your choices are made for you. Is it really a choice? And if you're being taught to self-deprecate and to self-hate and that you could do no right, and then your friends and family are always telling you this and that and the other, and after a while you learn to hate yourself. So why not pick up a crack pipe? Why not do all that stuff? Of course you don't want to do any of those things. It's not a good thing. But you know what? Sometimes it's like when you're left down and you're like, what choice do I have? I don't want to take my own life. So what's the next best thing? Do something that's going to give me an early death because I'm tired of the pain. So really, the choice is made out of pain. It is made out of sadness and fear. It's not made out of love and happiness and contentment. So what is it that is giving that person? Is it personality habits? Is it environment? Is it a combination of all of that? That's really, in my opinion, in my observation that I've seen, and even when I've worked on myself, these are the things that I see, because it doesn't just work for addiction, it works for all of homelessness. I had my own problems that I had to work through. So, what's up, Thomas? Okay, that's out of line. Jesus is hell of a guy. Just because you can't afford your yard crew doesn't mean you have to be so rude to them. That's funny. That's perfect, Jeremy. All right. So yeah, when I do vertical, we're gonna get plenty of trolls in here. We're gonna get a lot of stuff. Okay. So let's talk about what they're doing in. Let's talk about what they're doing in Seattle. Okay. So oops, I went past what I wanted to read. So there's this suburb of Seattle, okay, and in this suburb, they were given the city and the county said, okay, well, after the grants pass decision came down, we want to focus, instead of like criminalizing homelessness and putting them all in jail because we don't think that that's going to be very productive. What we're going to do is we're going to look at housing options and housing solutions so that we can be somewhat humane. At least we give them a shelter, right? Even if it is a tent city, at least we give them something. Hey, sometimes you can only ask for so much. What's up, Joanna? But there's this little suburb city. It's like Brana or something like that. I'll end up reading it here. How about instead of a ticket, they give a card with community resources or places to make? Well, see, here's the thing. What they're saying is that the police officer, just like in Florida, what the police officer does is he comes up and he says, okay, you're sleeping on the streets. You're not supposed to be sleeping on the streets. You need to go to a shelter. If the homeless person refuses, at that point in time, they take them to jail. What are they doing? They're doing an offer, counter offer. Well, so your response, if you're a homeless individual, well, if there was room in the shelter, or if the shelters were safe, or then I would definitely go to a shelter. But there's no room, or they're not safe, or both. And so therefore, at that point in time, you are still able to at least circumvent it, because what can the police officer say? Well, there's no adequate shelter, so therefore I can't give you a thing, because your safety and security, the police officer, he's going to understand that, because that's his whole job, is to provide safety and security to the community. So if you're telling him that you're having safety concerns, well, he's going to have an understanding. Well, what kind of safety concerns? And you get to talk about, well, there's this and this and this, and there's no oversight, and the staff's corrupt, and this and that and the other, and da 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 da. And you can kind of point some things out. Now, if they're smart, they're going to go in there. They're going to they're going to send probably an undercover or an investigator over to look at it. But if you're stuck in this situation, especially if you're in the city in Seattle, then wait, I can't do that yet. Okay, sorry guys, I was okay, so there we go. I'm just kind of letting it settle. I may not be able to eat dinner on camera tonight, which would probably be good for you guys. Who wants to watch Tuck eat, right? But yeah, I gotta let this stuff cool down. Okay, and I gotta let it settle a little bit. There's a little bit more water, even though I use the exact ingredients: 1.5 cups of water, 1/2 cup of milk, and a tablespoon of butter. It's still really watery. I think I cooked it longer than 7 minutes even. So, Hey, what's up, Triple? Oh, okay. What's up, Illuminati? Whenever you say Joanna's name aloud, I start singing Sweeney Todd. Oh, what's up, Alfred? Um, Count one. Yes. All right. So maybe we should just start doing these in vertical. But I don't know. We'll see because vertical brings in more people, but the thing is I'm not really making like for every 1,000 views I might make 30 cents, whereas over there on the if it's horizontal I make a couple of bucks. You know. Um. mm, I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, we might do this a little bit more often just to bring more people in. So my entire narrative leverages the fact that no shelters or services exist. Hence why I've got to keep my narrative a step ahead of society. Hey, whatever floats your boat there, Sam. Okay, we have a special task force here called DOT, Diversion Outreach Team, made of law enforcement officers. They deal with disorderly homeless. What city? Humble Pie, one. And Sam, knock it off. What city? No, knock it off. She's begging for food and attention all at the same time. She can't contain herself. Knock it off. So many officers. Okay. So that and what is it that they're doing to help the homeless? Like how? Like what are the positive aspects? How are they making a positive impact on the homeless community? Because I've started seeing them pop up in the cities, but the one guy I tried to talk to was a complete dick to me. So I never talked to him again. So thanks, Joanna. Watching you eat isn't the problem. It's listening to you eat makes people want to smash their. Okay. So, okay, what's up, Cherokee? There is nowhere for them to push me. Ah, okay. What's up, Danny? Um, Tuck makes a few bucks going horizontal. I knew you'd do that, Alfred. All right, what's your Cash App? It's hashtag FriarTuck81. So, or the $, whatever. It's down in the description. Plus, Jeremy posts it from time to time. Dude gives heavy Aryan circle. Okay. Yeah, okay. Are you referring to Norwin's? Okay. Feed her. You know what, Captain? I will feed her when I feel like it. She's got to wait. She's already had her. Oh, actually, she hasn't had dinner yet. That's right. Cause usually, I've been feeding her. Like today, she ate part of my lunch, so I know I'm gonna feed her part of my dinner. But she's just got to be patient. So, hold on. But all right, so it's the new haircut. Well, yeah, I used a pair of scissors, and it took me about 2 hours of cutting, and I still got to go and do some trim ups. I need to get me a razor so I can shave the back of my neck. Oh my god! Even if it cools down, so we got a 10-day forecast of like high mid to low 60s. Okay. Yeah, Sam, knock it off. It's gonna be mid to low 60s for the high, and it's gonna be like 36 to like 43. Stop it! I will take you outside if I have to. So, bro, even months still no cash. You have trailer to hand the thing. Can't use wait as excuse. Yes, I know. Because of a kick down I've got. Basically, I don't have to make my property payment this month because of I'll talk about it in the behind the scenes if you guys are over on Patreon. I'll talk about that there. But anyways, so I was planning on getting me the Feelings Aren't Fact and the other one just as I was getting ready to buy my Cash App shirt last month, or yeah, I think it was in December or something like that. I got sick, and so I just kind of had to I just kind of had to spend on that, and I couldn't buy my cash. But I was just getting ready to do it when I got hit with being sick and ended up in the hospital. So okay, not hungry, starving. Yeah, well, she's not starving. This dog eats so damn much. Yeah, dude, she took like 3 craps on the way home. Yeah, she's not. This dog is not shy on food. I spoil this dog rotten. That's why she sits there and whines, because she knows that part of this is hers and she wants it now, not later. That's what it is. It's just, she just doesn't have patience. And I've really got to work on impulse control with this dog. Quit your whining. Quit your whining. Yes, you will get fed soon enough. Okay. Hold on, I want another bite. But let me finish this up so that we can sit and talk with Sam. Okay, so dog likes that. Yeah. Yeah, I know, and I'm as bad as my dad with my dog. I really am. I'm really as bad. It's probably why I have trouble training her. Okay. Well, no, she's trained. It's just whether or not she wants to listen, because, yeah, that's my other problem. I just laugh at her and just let her do it. That's my problem. All right. So what this town is doing? So Seattle decided that they wanted to do they wanted to do homeless shelters, and so they gave the city $1 million if they to building a homeless shelter, and they would help with the financing and everything else like that. Well, the city never took it. Instead, what they did is they just criminalized homelessness, and they said, hey, look, you either have to go in the shelter or you have to get off the street. So what they're trying to do, there's even a city in Florida. Well, it's a very tiny town, but yeah, they boast about, yeah, there's no homeless in our town, because as soon as a homeless person pops up, you've got the police escorting them to the county line. So it's just it's just this is the difference between, you got one city that wants to do something that is going to positively address the homeless crisis, and you have another city that is not going to address the homeless crisis. So here's a piece of the article that I wanted to read, because this kind of explains a little bit of what's going on. So Ray Tosh, 28, was one of the dozens of homeless who stayed in the city's cold weather shelter Tuesday night. But with the shelter closed Wednesday night with the temperature at 33 degrees, Tosh said he didn't know where he would go. They think we want to do this, like we want to be homeless, or we want to stay outside and stay in tents and stuff. They have no idea how far from the truth it is. Miserable. Yeah, 30 degrees is miserable. So Tosh said that the city is cracking down on homeless people in other ways. He was arrested for public drug use a few weeks ago. He said he was only holding a torch lighter. Court and jail records show that he spent the night at the South Correctional Entity, but was not charged with any crime. Yeah, because he had nothing on him. They just wanted to lock him up. King County sheriffs arrested 331 people in Burien for drug-related offenses in 2024, more than 4 times the number they arrested in 2023. If you're living on the streets, it's extremely, extremely obvious that the police are a lot more active, and they're cracking down on being a lot more harsh. So let me turn this off so that we can go over here and finish talking about this, and you guys can see Sam. Okay, so, all right, Sam. You want to come say hi to everybody? Yes, I know. You want the food, but you'll take the attention too. Hold on. Say hi, guys. Say hi, Sam. Hi. Say hi to everybody. Yes. Okay. All right. Calm down. Sit. Chill. No. Stop it. Stop. All right, so she's going to be a spaz dog until she's used to this, and I'm just going to kind of have to keep her from getting at the camera. Stop, we're not playing. We're not playing. Stop. So I took her on a 10-mile walk today, okay? So it's not like she didn't get any exercise, and we played with the ball today, but she wants to play more, and she wants to get, okay, now I got her. All right, yeah, just got to give you the pets, huh? And then you calm down. So, here, look at this. Yeah, see? Yeah, give her the belly rubs. She loves. Okay, let's see. Sam makes me laugh. Hi, Chris, I'm okay. Okay. Cops pull over a shitty car for no tag light, but ignore fancy car with no front plate. Yeah, that's kind of the way it works. In Dallas, if you're not speeding, the cops will pull you over because they think you're doing something suspicious. Sit. Come here. Yeah. Calm. Sam. Chill. Hey. Yes, I know. Stop. Stop. Okay. So, all right. Let's see here. Yeah, 10 miles. Sam's done 25 and still had this much energy at the end of 25 miles. Okay. 10 is just a good start for a lap. Yeah. For Sam, yeah, she likes to, she's about a 15-mile a day dog. So we went into the library to get a charge, went up to Jiffy to grab a cup of coffee. And yeah, today turned out to be a real crap day. I ended up, I thought I left the burner on, so I came home early instead of, Sam, sit, stop, look, crazy dog, look. All right. Yeah, as soon as we got home, she slept. She just finally woke up about as soon as I started making dinner because she's like, oh, food, where's my food? So, okay, 10 miles is just a good, yeah. What's the next time you're in town? Tomorrow. So I just found out today that my food stamps from Florida got terminated and that Arizona is going to give me an issue with getting them. So apparently they don't need a birth certificate to get your ID or driver's license, but you need it to get benefits and services. I've never been required to get my birth certificate for especially, and then they want me to show proof of citizenship. It's like, but I have an ID and it has the gold star on it, which is good enough for the airport. Oh, well, we're not the airport, we're this entity. I'm like, well, you're the government. One will take it, one won't. What's up with that? So I either have to see if my parents can send me a picture of my birth certificate, or I need to order my birth certificate. So anything put in the tip jar, if I have to order my birth certificate, will go towards that. It's probably gonna cost me like $20-30. So when I see Sam, she's going to punch me in the stomach. Yeah, I swear she's got part boxer. Cause she likes to jump up and punch me in the nuts every once in a while. Yeah, she'll just want to just 1-2 punch, just like they're like little bean bags or something. Like, what's wrong with you, dog? Yeah, chill. Yeah, you'll get to eat in a minute. Okay. Well, that sucks. Probably 40. Okay. She wants to go duck hunting. Actually, Sam, leave the camera alone. Yeah, get over here. Chill. Dog breath, nasty. Yeah. No, we're not playing. Okay, so, damn, dog, stop. This is, you guys are gonna have to, it'll probably take about a month before she calms down and realizes that this is part of her routine. Okay, got her calmed down again, and I got her on the belly. So brush your teeth. You know what? That's what she eats sticks for. If you want to give instead of going and buying those little gingivitis bites, just give your dog a stick. If you give your dog a stick every day, they'll sit and chew it. Like when I tell Sam her breast stinks, she'll go out and chew on a stick. And then she comes back, her breast smells better because, yeah, of all that other stuff. But, anyways, Ridgebacks used to want to run for 2 hours straight. Yeah, she's part Ridgeback, part Yellow Lab. So when her hair stands up, you can see it on her butt. There's pictures of it if you go back and look in the community tab. But yeah, she is Ridgeback. But she's a mutt. All that dog hair, you getting in my throat. Yeah, don't look at me like that. Toothbrush, good short content. Yes, okay. All right, guys, so I want to eat. Sam is impatient to eat, and she's just like, hold on. I don't know what was, something was, okay. So, all right, guys, so this is the homeless news plus the little bit of time with Sam that we spend every night. Yeah, you have a green stick, aka alive, it will clean up quick. Okay, But yeah, no, Sam on sticks, she's fine. But anyways, guys, this is the live streams, because I want to start. There's some changes that are coming along. If you're over on Patreon, you'll get to hear about them before anybody else, because I'm when I went from being on trail to being static, everything changed. It's like my channel did its own pivot without me even knowing it, and that's part of the reason why I've kind of hit the brick wall. And so what I'm working on now is restructuring so that I can, bring back in the audience, but have it go where I'm going. So I mean, I'm going from being homeless to a homesteader. I am going, whether I want to or not, I'm going to naturally start prepping, because I learned survival skills while I was out on the road, such as how to conserve water, how to conserve your resources, how to stretch them out, and things like that, that I think will be really valuable to people that are in homesteading or prepping community. Plus, it will also help those within the homeless community. I'm still going to be doing the homeless news regardless, because I really like doing it, and you guys seem to like it as well. But the other thing is I have to make sure that I'm able to step to the next level. So as you guys have watched my epoch, my life journey, you've watched me go from being, on trail homeless, to starting to be able to get decent gear so that I could live outside and be somewhat comfortable, to now I'm able to be in a piece of property, and now I'm starting to have to do certain things here. So it's been a slow progression, over time, and I want to keep that up, but I also don't want to get rid of. I still want to be able to continue to talk within the homeless community. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to structure that to where I can talk to both preppers and homeless of like, hey, this is what you can do to get out of homelessness. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for being here, and I will see you tomorrow evening for the homeless news. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for being here.